Yeah, get him, Mr. Devinaire. I got him. He lost 73 times in a row. They call him El Nino. He was golf's wonder kid. And as an amateur, he tore up the competition with his brilliant skills. His name was Sergio Garcia, and he reached the peak of his prominence when he finished second to Tiger Woods in 1999 PGA Championship. But if you fast forward about 10 years or so, Garcia would say these words: "I don't have that thing I need to have to win a major." He would say this at the Masters in 2012 after losing over and over again. But finally, just a few weeks ago, Garcia won his first Masters. Not only was this his first Masters, but it was his first major victory. He was 0 for 73. And something just wasn't right about this picture. You just don't go from being El Nino the Great to 0 and 73 and come back and win a Masters. So I had to look into it and see. What I found was that Garcia spent years and years in his own way. He had a mental framework that wasn't all the way there, and over 20 years he spent on a downhill mission. The whole time he was living in negativity. He was whining and crying, and things didn't go his way, so he just blamed others, and it was excuse after excuse, just flat out defeatism.
I don't like it, I'll tell you the truth. I don't think it's fair. And, it's too tricky. Even when it's dry, you still get mud balls in the middle of the fairway. So it's too much of a guessing game.
Golf course is fantastic. I like it when it's difficult. Obviously, it wasn't difficult this week. It was as easy as it's ever going to be.
Little did he know the whole time, the only thing he was doing was defeating the man in the mirror, himself, suppressing his extraordinary ability. See, Garcia started off his career very confident. He was riding high.
In 1996, Garcia played in the Open Championship, having qualified as the youngest European amateur champion in history. A year later, he finished either first or second in every amateur tournament that he entered.
But then he ran into that dude, Tiger Woods. And in the final round of that tournament, he took that L. He took that whipping from the greatest of all time, some may consider. And after taking that L, he spiraled downhill faster than he could ever imagine. And like I said, you just don't end up winning the Masters in 2017 after losing 20 years in a row over and over. See, Garcia began to win this Masters 2 years ago. See, he expressed in a press conference after a win that he had a new calmness that came over him while he was playing. And this was back in 2015. And see, at that time, something moved into his life. He had a new girlfriend that truly supported him and brought positivity into his life. See, his girlfriend was a former golfer in college, so she understood. And her father was an All-American quarterback for the University of Texas Longhorns in 1960. Her granddad was a high school coach in Texas, a famous high school coach in Texas. And you know how they love their football. And her cousin just happened to be Drew Brees. See, the breakthrough was that he was now surrounded with a winning team. He shifted his atmosphere, and his bucket became getting filled with something different. He had a consistent presence of that positive attitude, that winning attitude. Did you hear me? He finally had a consistent presence of that positive winning attitude around him and in him. This is how you win a Masters after losing 73 major tournaments in a row. See, major golf tournaments, there are 4 rounds, but if there was only 1 round, every pro will have a chance to win. Anybody can have one great day, win 1 round, but when you go 2 rounds, you basically can eliminate about half the group. And if you go 3 rounds, you almost eliminate another half, where you're basically leaving just about 25% of the pros remaining. And if you go 4 rounds, you really have a chance to win. It makes sense that the championship trophy is given on a Sunday and is rewarded to the most consistent player over those 4 rounds. And even when Garcia was forced to go sudden death during this Masters tournament, after being tied after the last hole, he remained consistent. Previously, he would have doubted himself. He would have let that negativity overcome him, sink into his mindset. But this time, in the moment when it counted the most, he had remained consistent with his positive winning attitude and his performance, and he was able to overcome setbacks. So I leave you with this. It's good to be good once in a while, but this is not going to cut it if you want to go to greatness. It really requires consistency. And I challenge you today to just do the right thing day in, day out, week in, week out, year in, year out, and see what happens. And after a while, that consistency will compound, it will build up. So don't get discouraged in your situation. When you keep trying and you just can't seem to get ahead. You apply to that dream job and you never got your interview yet. You're trying to get that loan for your business so you can grow it, but they won't give it to you. You keep getting denied. You keep trying to make that basketball team on that sports team, but they keep cutting you. You might go 0 for 73 on whatever you're dealing with in life right now. But remember, you don't win the championship the first day, and you might not overcome your battle at the first attempt. There will be rounds you will go through, eliminations you would have to overcome, but with consistency, you can make it to the end. To be there when the opportunity matters the most, to be there and win a championship. You can do it. Keep on pushing through it. Your championship is right around the corner. Consistency. Touchdown. Take off.